it's normally stories that come with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottom podcast.
We are back at it again. Y'all two favorite drinkers and socializers and general all connoisseurs of conversation. You know what I'm talking about? It's your boy Jay Walking the Third. Carolina Dirt, what's happening with you?
Ain't shit. You already know what it is. The Humpday Happy Hour tap in. I'm starting to let it roll off now.
The Humpday Happy Hour tap in, man. Look, we got all the shows are special, man. All the guests are special. This one right here is gonna be super dope, if you don't mind me saying. This individual is an entrepreneur. She's a singer. She ain't a singer. She's a singer. You know what I'm saying? She is an artist, like the artist that draw. You know what I'm saying? Just multifaceted, super cool style. The resident super dope chick herself. Welcome, Miss TiffanyJ. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. I love that intro. I'm doing well this evening.
That's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. Like I said, I did my homework and I just found out a ton of cool shit about you. And we're gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
first of all, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to be, introduced to y'all's audience.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Absolutely. So we normally start this thing off with first call. First call is 10 quick questions. They're not always quick, but we're going to try to make them as quick as they can. I'm going to get 5. He going to get 5. No right or wrong answer, nothing like that. Just kind of how you feeling in the moment.
Okay.
You know so, in terms of, let's go hot or cold?
Cold.
Cold? Okay. Who are the competitors? Coke versus Pepsi.
Coke.
Okay. More afraid of large bodies of water or more afraid of insects?
Large bodies of water. My dad is an exterminator. I ain't scared of bugs.
Yeah, me. There's some big shits out here.
But I can't swim. So
you can't drink it all either. Okay.
Yeah, that either.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the superpower. You know how comic books and superhero movies work? You can choose any superpower you want. What you want it to be?
That is a hard one. Any superpower, being able to time travel.
Okay.
That might be the first one. No, the second one. Second one. Yeah, time travel. You're the second person to say that.
Absolutely. So, my last question: coffee or orange juice?
So I don't drink coffee, so orange juice.
Okay. We gonna
get hilarious.
We gonna get
a story behind
that a little bit later.
Okay.
Carolina,
he
go
did
ahead.
It. No, he did his homework. So I'm liking this interview.
So, if you had a tree house, what's the most gangsterous thing you would put in your tree house?
What's the most gangsterous?
Yeah, crazy thing you'll put in your tree house.
Okay. Probably. That's hard. I don't know. I'm real simple at home. I just need some comfortable pillows, a TV, an air fryer.
Well, it's a tree house. Just throw something out there. Something is a tree house now.
I don't know, a studio mic.
All right. Favorite cartoon?
Rugrats.
Barney or Big Bird?
Barney.
Last time you fell?
I was about to say yesterday, but I don't think I fell yesterday. I ain't going nowhere. I've maybe a couple months ago. I'm clumsy.
All right. My homeboy loved this question. What's the hardest word you ever tried to say? Like, what's the word give you the hardest to try to say?
A lot of them actually. I don't take note, but there are a lot of words that's hard for me to say. I'm real country southern. So sometimes a lot of words are just hard to say I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but sometimes some words trip me up. I have to take my time to say them.
Most popular one.
Yeah, what's the most popular one?
I can't think of what the word might be off the dome.
Until you try to
say it. Until I try to say it. Like if I'm reading something, I could tell you, oh, that word right there. Because but it's some words, especially if it's a AR, followed by a lot of stuff. It's hard for me to say.
AR followed by a lot of stuff. All right. And my last one, since you say Southern, your favorite Southern meal?
Fried pork chop, cabbage, rice and gravy, butter beans.
Oh, you going straight to sleep?
And yeast rolls.
Straight to sleep.
You going straight to sleep? All right, that was first call.
I can't even back up from the table.
Yeah,
I'm drooling.
Sitting on the table.
But while you on that, if I may, I am Southern. However, I do not eat collard greens. I don't eat yams. I don't drink sweet tea. I don't eat pie. I hardly eat cake. A lot of the black people food I don't eat.
You said a lot of the black people food. I can dig it. We are not all one thing. Because if you try to give me your chitlins, I'm gonna upset your household.
Chitlins, pig feet.
Yeah, I don't do those either.
I take collards over cabbage. I love collards. I take collards over cabbage any day.
I just started dibbling in some collards lately. Oh, I don't eat cornbread either. But I love cabbage.
Okay. That's different. Most people say collards over cabbage.
I don't eat baked beans and I do not eat barbecues. Well, I grew into eating barbecue sauce, but when I was growing up, when we had cookouts, my dad always, before they put the sauce on the meat on the grill, he would always whip my meat to the side before he sauce everything because I ain't want the barbecue sauce.
My mom like that. My mom, she don't care too much for the sauce on the meat.
I actually grew into the other way around. When I was young, I wanted sauce on everything, and now that I'm older, not so. If it's seasoned well, you don't need all that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it's
and everybody's sauce ain't good.
That too.
Yeah. So, Miss TiffanyJ.
Yes, sir.
You got a lot of irons in the fire, man. You do a lot of stuff, and you do a lot of dope stuff, man.
Thank you.
I want to start with. You had a children's book just recently that you released, that you wrote and illustrated.
Yeah, actually 3 children's books.
Tell us about it.
So I created a character, first of all, called Super Beauty. She's a superhero with powers that diminish the influence of bullies and boost self-esteem and confidence in her peers. So the books, the children's books are actually a part of a series that are based upon Super Beauty, the character. So the first book we released back in 2018 was called Super Beauty Saves the Day. That was like her introduction. We followed through with a book about Black culture called Super Beauty's ABCs for the Culture. And it's an A to Z book that introduces kids to different concepts about Black history. And then the third book we released in, I think, August of 2020. I know it was in the pandemic. But it was called Sunny Tells Super Beauty a Secret. And Sunny is a character that was introduced in the first book. But in the third book, we learned that Sunny has autism. And I was inspired to focus on the autism story Well, that's her secret that she's telling Super Beauty. But I was inspired to focus on the autism story because my niece actually is diagnosed with autism. So it's a learning curve for my family. So I wanted to, introduce that into the path of the Super Beauty books. And we have another one coming out very, very soon. It's called We Are Super Dope and You Are Too. And it's a book of affirmations for kids. So it'll be 4 children's books.
That's what's happening, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. So you already got a franchise. You know what I'm saying? And is that an idea that you had? Did it just come to you one day? Like, how did you
So
manifest?
So the children's books weren't my first book that I published. The first book I published was more of a self-help book for young adults and adults. But I have had this girls camp called the Beauty You Are boot camp for years. And I've been mentoring girls and I've been big on self-esteem and confidence and mental health awareness. Shouts out to everybody that is advocating for positive mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
And this week is actually National Prevention Week, which focuses on preventing substance abuse as well as encouraging positive mental health. Shameless plug to all that are advocating for that. But I had a mentee do a school project on me one time, and she called me Super Beauty. And she said I had the power to make people feel good about themselves. Fast forward to some time, I forgot about her project. However, I was coming up with a concept because the girls in my camp needed something, because most of the things I was offering was either for my adult audience or, people 16 and up. So I wanted to give something to my lower age girls, and I came up with the concept to do the children's book series. I knew I wanted to have a traveling mascot, which I do. I have a plush talking doll that says over 20 phrases that boost self-esteem. We went into developing a twin brother for her whose name is Handsome Hero. We have a doll of him as well that says the phrases that boost self-esteem. But when I was thinking about what I was going to name the character, Super Beauty came to me. I don't know where it came from. However, in some way of me naming it Super Beauty, I backtracked and I found the project that my mentee did on me, and she called me Super Beauty. And that it was just crazy how that seed, she planted a seed in me when I was her mentor, but my mentee planted a seed in me for me to manifest something years later that I didn't even know I was, recalling into remembrance at the time. So besides that, I'm real passionate about girls and their self-esteem, because at the age of 12, I actually attempted to commit suicide. So it's all a part of my journey. Like my story is all about overcoming depression, getting to being the super dope chick. So I really have a passion to help kids find themselves and learn to love themselves a lot earlier than I had the opportunity to.
We need that all over the world right now.
So what do the kids know you by? Do they know you by TiffanyJ the singer or TiffanyJ my homie? Like the kids that
Probably both, because I'm gonna say both because I infuse my music into all that I do. So with the doll, for instance, she actually plays 3 of my songs. Like Super Beauty has songs, and we're actually working on a Super Beauty album. But when I go to schools and do presentations, I always start off with a song, and it's a TiffanyJ song. So my music ranges. I have my own. You'll know if it's a TiffanyJ song. However, it ranges from uplifting music, encouraging music, love, R&B, soul. It infuses that. So I have music that just kind of crosses those margins where kids know me as a singer and as, super dope chick.
So did you tell them your story of your thought of suicide to help you change the course that you were going? Like, do you express that to the kids?
I do. However, for younger ages, I don't use the word suicide. I use it more of in the term of wanting to harm myself. Just so that we are cautious of what
Yeah,
language is shared with them at impressionable ages. However, I do let them know that I was not pleased or I had a thought in my head that I wasn't good enough. So yeah, my story is definitely a part of the message that I spread with everybody.
that's
Absolutely.
man. I've been listening to Trick Daddy for like the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and whenever you say Trick Daddy, you always say Trick love the kids. It don't matter what Trick Daddy does, you gotta always say Trick love the kids, and he's always doing something, regardless of what Trick Daddy's done in life, the good, the
Uh-huh.
bad, what he said, what he hadn't said. Behind that, he's always doing something for the kids. So anybody that does stuff for the kids, like you and yourself, like I just applaud that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I
Like I
do
said,
too.
Whitney said, the children is the future. You know what I'm saying? And right now, especially, I feel like we've done so much to kind of freight a bond. Like, I don't think that the family time is always there. It's not for everybody. Some people do keep a close hold of their kids, but I think a lot of kids are being raised by tablets and electronic devices and things like that.
True.
So the fact that you have something tangible like the actual doll, the the positive affirmations, like the characters you're building, I definitely want to see that franchise grow, and I can see it being larger than it is. Like you on the path to make it what I think you desire to make it. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
I do too. If I may share, that brand in itself, well, I consider that brand to be my legacy. Of all the things I do, that is the one that's my legacy. Um, so far it has gotten me the most national exposure. I will say that. Um,
I
I've
see you on
had
Sister Circle with Tamron and all them.
Yeah, I was on Sister Circle. I won a competition with BET and TI, a picture hustle contest. I was in Essence, Black Enterprise, Good Morning America. So I got a lot of national attention with that brand. However, we're back in a kind of, I don't want to say a relaunch phase, but a coming back out phase because the pandemic, kind of forced us to slow down, and I'm getting my mojo back currently.
How did the pandemic, like? Do you think you're gonna come back stronger? How did you reevaluate everything because of COVID?
So for me, COVID brought on depression.
Okay.
Um, so I wasn't hardly doing what I resulted to during COVID for my mental health was music.
Hmm.
Music has always been that escape for me to escape reality. Um, but as far as the Super Beauty brand goes, I have I have a lot of ideas. I am just trying to make sure this time everything is intentional. Not saying that it wasn't before, but my focus right now is streamlining and get my plan in motion for the Super Beauty brand. To at minimum get back to the exposure we had once I guess 2019, right before 2020, get back to that place and then surpass it.
You ever
Cause I
thought
don't
about
even
how?
really even promote my dolls right now because I have like literally two dolls, well, Super Beauty dolls left. I have plenty of handsome heroes, but I don't have the capital right now to re-up, get a new set of dolls manufactured. And it's not like a case where I can be like, let me get 20 dolls.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
it's like 500, 1,000 at one time.
You ever
Absolutely.
you, you ever thought about what would be gangster? I'm just thinking about it. It's like a spa with a library in it, and it's the
A
Super
spa
Beauty
with
thing.
a library.
Yeah.
That's dope. I have an idea for a mall type thing, but we don't really have malls anymore, especially not in Columbia.
Go to
Um,
Richmond Fashion. They got a lot of open space.
well, my concept, I won't go too much into detail, but my concept would need people to be coming to the mall to shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, since you're talking about it, and it's just because it's the nature of where we're going,
Uh-huh.
You could probably flip a school bus, cuz.
Yeah,
Small
everybody's doing that.
and you
Yeah.
could go to different schools and maybe bring people on 8 to 10 kids at a time, depending on what kind of. That's going to be cheaper than you trying to lease a space. You feel me? And you could pull up at
To an
birthday
extent.
parties and things like that.
Well, yeah.
Because you
I'll
got
put you on that
maintenance,
one.
but it's more or less like it'll give you mobility. You're gonna have, your trademarks and your logos on the side of it, so it's always being advertised no matter what. It's
Yeah,
advertising when you park.
that's a good one.
So
Yeah, or you
Yeah,
can
because I
even
was looking at a party van, but
yeah.
a bus would be more of an experience.
it might be
a bus. You can get a 18-wheeler cargo trailer. Them things are like 5,000. You just gotta have somebody
you
pull it
gotta
and
have
just
an
do
18
sections.
wheeler to
Uh-huh.
pull it.
Well, I'm just
You
saying,
know
but you
what?
can have
That
sections.
actually might be better.
Yeah,
So the thing is, whatever I get, my mascot will have to fit on as
yeah.
far as height wise. It'll be a little tough for her to be in a school bus and a van. So that's why I never popped on the van I did because my mascot can't stand up in it.
The top
Um,
off.
then we got to worry about rainy days. But
No,
no,
I just
that's real good. That's real good fuel. Real good ideas.
yeah, all those things we understand that they cost money, but in terms of what we try to do on the show is, like I said, it's never a bad idea, man. Look, it don't cost
Oh, absolutely.
anything to support somebody's vision, and what you're doing is so important that the people that are listening now, they can reach out to you. You never know who might run across this interview and be a decent benefactor or angel investor, somebody that's gonna be
Uh-huh.
hands off and let you build a dream the way that you want to build it.
I
You know what I'm
got you.
saying? So
That'd be cool. You add Dawn Staley as like a coach. Like if she played basketball or sport, Dawn Staley be her little coach and do a little Dawn Staley doll. That'd be dope.
It'll be
you
dope. It's
never
a lot
know.
of licensing information. A
But Dawn is
lot of red tape.
Dawn is very approachable
Yeah.
and very sociable. Now, of course, she's not gonna do anything that's bad business, but
Of
I get it.
course, yeah.
But let's
You
get
have
to
a
the music
yeah.
thing. Let's get
I
to
was
this.
gonna say you got a good resume, so ain't nobody gonna turn you down.
You
Yeah, no,
had the,
I understand everything y'all saying.
you know what I'm saying? You had the outburst when I asked you about the coffee or the OJ. So
Uh-huh.
explain to my brother why that was your reaction to that question.
That was my reaction for several reasons. So one, it was like, oh, he really ain't lied that he did his homework. So that was first. Number two, if anybody like really follows me, they know the coffee versus orange juice, whether they know the real life story or if they just know the story I give performing. I have a
Right.
song called Morning Coffee. So the song is talking about me choosing between coffee and orange juice, but they're not beverages, they're men. So yeah, that's why I had an outburst about it because I have a song about coffee and orange juice.
I literally
Um,
clicked on it because I love coffee, and then I listened to it. I was like,
yeah,
okay, then.
I don't drink coffee in real life.
I'm just saying that's why I clicked on it, man.
Yeah, the song is
Um,
called Morning Coffee, but coffee is one guy, orange juice. Coffee is basically the guy that the girls kind of with or not with, that's not really making up his mind what he gonna do, but he kind of latched on anyway. So she's trying to figure out if she's gonna go an opposite direction, somebody that's complete opposite, and give OJ a try. So coffee is too hot for her. OJ just kind of been waiting in the fridge, chilling, waiting on her. Whereas every time she trying coffee, he burn her. So
I'm definitely
that's
coffee. I'm
If he
definitely
burning, she don't need him.
no. See, don't
burning
pull
in
that
terms
usher
of
shit on
hot
him.
and cold.
Yeah,
So remember when y'all asked me hot or cold? I
right.
said cold.
You did say cold.
Yeah, this is the way you said it. My bad. You said he burning.
Yeah.
No,
You go there.
I'm just saying, coffee is hot, orange juice is cold, just to play on the opposites of the
It's a
two.
very, very clever writing. You know what I'm saying? Like your writing is outstanding, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. you know, when you write an original piece, when you write, like, that's always going to be a part of you. Like, that's always a piece of your DNA that you put on paper. And a lot of people can sing, a lot of people can sing. Everybody can't sing, sang, and write. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
again, that's another thing that I salute you for. Your creativity. You don't like your sense of style. Everything that you put together, everything that I've seen, all your visuals have been very clean. All your performances. Is that your regular band that you perform with?
So it's becoming my regular band. So pre-COVID, I have not actually done an in-person concert since before COVID. I've done like a lot of live stream things. I've had gigs and things like that, but I haven't done like a TiffanyJ in-person concert since before COVID. And before COVID, my band was a little different. For years I rocked with a young lady by the name of Akila Johnson, who was my bass player. I still call her my bass player, but through COVID, she was able to branch out and start doing her own original music. So I full force support her. But the guys that you see me with more recently, they are just phenomenal. They're so easy to work with. Two of the guys have been with me for a while. Chip Hopkins on keys. He's been my keyboard player for at least 5-6 years, and then Roderick Johnson on drums has been with me
That
a
dude,
little bit longer than that. Roger
that
Johnson
dude
is
cool and sweating at the same time.
yeah. So and then TJ and I'm talking about TJ and Antonio. TJ Antonio is the same person, but TJ and Rodney, I've known them for a while too, but they all just kind of collectively gel. Yeah. So if y'all hear about TiffanyJ doing an in-person concert, I'm trying to do one this summer.
Her band is
Um,
live, y'all. For the ones
if
that
y'all hear about
haven't
that,
run across her,
that is definitely gonna be who playing. Plus Johnny Knight on guitar. That's
that's the white
the
dude.
band that the band that y'all saw in my documentary, my Soul
Right.
Bird Sessions. That's definitely the band that I'll be trying to have for this concert.
So let me ask you a question then, because I've heard performers say this same line, ask the same
Okay.
question. How hard is it to write a book, like your first 5 sentences of a book compared to your first 5 sentences of a song? Like, which one gives you the most thought?
That is a tough question. And I'll tell you why it's tough. So as far as writing a book, I am I guess a 5-time published author. I have an ebook out, 3 children's book, and then the first adult book.
See, brag.
However, no, what I want to
I'm just
say
messing. Yeah, I
is
got you.
I've only written like one adult book. I can't really count my children's book writing style to writing a full book. But when I wrote my full book, I had a writing coach. So
Okay.
I don't know if the way I start writing a new adult book would be the same way as I had with my writing coach. That was a tedious process. I will
I'm
say
sure.
that, but I wrote a 152-page book in 4 months.
Okay.
It'll take
Um,
me 4 months to read it.
it's it wouldn't take you 4 months to read it. It's a really good book. You should go check it out. It's on
Shit.
Amazon.
He's
My
just
brother
slow.
said,
Um,
That's all. He
but
don't read. That's the
it's
problem.
it's a really good book, and it's a I don't want to call it a workbook, but it has you doing things while as you're reading about yourself. Um, so back to your question, I think it's harder to write a book than to write a song.
Do you
you hear a
start with
lot
a
of.
melody or words?
It depends. Well, I start with words. Really, I start with both at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
kind of
got you.
start with both at the same time. I'll sing a line, and might be a I'm I could start with a verse, I could start with a hook, but I'm pretty much giving melody to the words that I'm coming up with. And then as I proceed into the song, I might proceed with the melody before words because at that point I'm formatting how I want it to sound and match the rest. And then I might be filling in and changing out words later as I, continue composing. But to start off, I'm probably doing a melody and lyric at the same time.
So do you So if you got the melody, is it separate where you just they make it and then you send the verse and then they come together, or are you old school
That's
in the
what,
studio at the
so
same
you saying
time?
my band or
Like your band or
whoever I
whoever the beat's playing, whether it's your
whoever
band or the
does my
beat.
producer? Okay.
Yeah.
So my preference, I typically write a song, I'll lay down background, arrange it a cappella, the whole song, and I'll send it to a producer and say, this is my song, let's create the music around it. So I will send them from top to bottom how my song go, and then
Wow.
we make the music around it. That's my preference. That is how I started writing music. I started writing songs at 14. That's how I started. That is my preference. I had to grow into being able to take somebody's beat or composition and write to it. Normally it's the other way around for people. Normally people get beats and then write to them, but I write a song completely a cappella and have them put the music to my
You singing? Are
composition.
you singing to a metronome, or are you
Yeah,
just kind of
I'll
counting
go
in your
ahead
head?
and no, I'll when I send it to them, I record it, so I have my BPM, my metronome. Sometimes I'll have a drum track that I make. Sometimes I might put some pre-made chord structures in there, but I'll know what keep my songs in, and I'll know what my BPM is.
So do you
And then
trust?
I'll be doing harmony, so they're finessing what I made.
So
Absolutely.
Do you trust producers, or are you to the point where you don't care as long as you pick the beat? Like you got some people like 50. 50 said that I think one of his last albums. He didn't care who the producer was. He just took a whole bunch of beats and selected it and not played favoritism. Or do you play favoritism to a certain extent because they know the type of beat you're looking for?
Well, no, because I don't really shop beats, so I can't really answer that question. So typically, if I do write to a beat, it's from a producer that I have already worked with in the terms of they built something for me based off what I've given them, or I have just gone and looked for beats off of a certain producer's website. So it's not that I play favoritism. However, I don't really do a lot of send me a whole bunch of beats and I'll choose one. I don't really
Yeah.
do a lot of that. So it's more of me writing and I say y'all make the beat to what I don't really like to call them beats, but you construct the music around what
Yeah.
Around
I've
the
written
music.
and then we go through changes because I like live instrumentation feel versus techno feel. I do have some techno beats. I don't want to say techno, electronic beat type sound and music, but at the same time, most of my album work it has a lot of live instrumentation. So
Yeah,
live drums or live bass, guitar and not just, keyboard program stuff.
Right.
we had Dempsey on the beat. Dempsey on the beat is
Uh-huh.
Jazzy Faye's A&R. And I asked him
Okay.
kind of what you're talking about. Like when he does beats, do you like the artist to be there, or do you like for them, to send the song in and he do it? He's like, I believe he said he like for them to be there, and I told him like I can understand that not being like a producer or anything because you might put something together, but when they come in, the feel of them actually singing or rapping a song, I might be able to let me turn the hi hats up just a little bit, or
Right,
let me
right.
let me turn the kick down just a little bit, or let me turn this all the way up because they live. Like I just think the young kids these days don't understand that like that energy that could happen.
Yeah, mixing is plays a very big role in the music production. Um Sometimes it's things in the song that you might not really hear naturally with your ear, but it's in there and it might just be giving depth or it might just be adding some warm flavor to it and you might not even know it's there until you solo it. So
Yeah,
mixing plays a huge part into producing and making music. So I agree with you. Like if I just hooked up with a producer and they like, I got these tracks for you, I'm gonna send you a whole bunch and then you come in and record, I would hope that they'll be able to make changes
yeah.
based on, don't just finalize a beat and send it. Cause if you ain't mixed it anyway and you can't give it to me tracked out, then I can't do business.
Okay.
Mm.
I know that's right. So going back to young Tiffany J, the first time you realizing that you got this voice, who did you fall in love with? What was that song that you learned backwards and forwards to start like being confident with your singing?
Candy girl, oh my world.
That is tough. Because I was in a gospel group.
It
So
can
I
be a
grew up in
gospel
church,
song.
like I grew up in church singing like most people. And then I was in a gospel group. That's where I started my writing and actually recording stuff with a gospel group. And I became a solo artist, venturing into R&B in 2012. So I was kind of singing before I was Tiffany J. However, I don't know if there was a moment where I was like, all right, I got this gift. Let me learn the
Come
song and
on now.
sing it out. Seriously, like I sang
What
a
song
lot
did
in
they always
church.
want? Yeah, what song did they always want you to sing at church? Like, what's that song that they always wanted you to sing at church?
It's just a hard question to answer because the way my church choir is set up, we had a choir anniversary every year, and then there's new songs, and then so I from like the 6th grade on up, I always had a solo, but it wasn't necessarily the only song I ever sang. So it wasn't like, all right, Tiffany here this day, so she gonna sing this. But this one song I can remember in the 7th grade. This is actually it's real. It's a real touchy story for me because it's the same year I attempted to commit suicide. Jesus keep me near the cross. That's a good one, but I sang that during communion with everybody. But it's the same year I attempted to commit suicide. But Kurt Franklin and the family put out a song called "More Than Conquerors," and I sang the lead for it. And I can remember learning the lead for the song, and we did it for our youth choir anniversary. And I learned that song to the T, like all the ad libs, and everything. And we sang it a lot. So if I had to give you a song, it would be "More Than Conquerors," Kurt Franklin and the family. It might just be called Conquerors. It's one of the two. It's either called Conquerors or More Than Conquerors.
My favorite Kurt Franklin is something about the name Jesus by
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
with
With
what's his
Rance
name that just
Alvin.
he
Rance
just
Alvin.
passed. Man, he sang that. He sang
Yeah,
that.
and then if I had to fast forward to when I was becoming, an R&B artist and gigging a lot, the song that people love to hear me sing or cover was X Factor by Lauryn Hill. So that became kind of a staple for me.
I was gonna say that, but your cover of "Nobody's Supposed to Be Here," that's
Oh,
a tough
I
song to
absolutely
sing, man.
nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. Oh, I did do
Deborah
a cover of
Cox,
that.
you did,
Yeah, I
and you
do.
killed it, and you
So
killed it.
I lowered the key. Did I lower the key a whole step or a half step? I think a whole step. I lowered the key because I know what I can and can't hit comfortably. However, nobody's supposed to be here. My serious cover ain't got nothing on my karaoke cover. You
Okay,
have to see me do that at karaoke. Like karaoke
okay.
is a whole different situation.
I
So,
just know when people are covering, like I want to see how brave you are, and you got to
yeah.
be really brave to cut. I don't know what happened to Deborah Cox. I think the song took everything out of her. It
No, they did the
is a
challenge.
brilliant. I
She's
They
mean,
did
I'm
still
the
just
challenge.
around.
saying, it's a brilliant and immaculate song where
It really is.
sometimes the song is so huge. You know what I'm
It is.
saying?
So I
And
would
that,
say that is a song I loved as a child when it came out. Like,
okay,
because it's not like when I just covered it during the pandemic. I just learned it. I've known that song like
right.
most of my life. You know what I mean? So that X Factor too. Like when Lauryn Hill, Miss Education of Lauryn Hill came out, all them songs on that record. I was in elementary school.
Right, right. I wish I could
So,
say that I was fully grown,
yeah,
but
I was actually at the thing.
When did that come out? Like in 98, right?
I want to
I
say
think
98,
either
90,
98 or
somewhere 98.
99.
Yeah,
So
somewhere
if
98.
it came out in 98, I was in 5th grade. If it came out in 99, I was in 6th. So I was young when that album came out.
So let me ask you this, and it came up again. So
Okay.
Trick Daddy got his own cooking show, whatever, and it came up. What do you think about real singers? What's classified as a real singer today? He made the comment about Beyonce can't sing and everybody went in uproar. But he was just saying
Beyonce, so
that
Beyonce can't sing though. That's the
what
problem.
well he was saying a lot of these artists now are sounding more similar. Like you can tell the difference between Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle back in the day. You can tell the difference between Sade and Lauryn Hill back in the day. That's what he's saying.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of female singers now sound alike and they're not as strong as a vocalist.
A lot of the male
And
singers
I
is
I can
male
I can
rappers.
I can agree with that. I can
Yeah,
agree
so
with
what do
that.
you
I just can't agree with the part that Beyonce can't sing.
yeah, you know he tricked that trick was
I
just
mean,
trick
I
tricky.
just know, but just for the record, like Beyonce can like blow for real. Like
Yeah.
Beyonce is a businesswoman before she worrying about showing off her for real vocal skill, and she goes with what the masses love. So
Right.
Give me
Beyonce is a beast, like
give me yeah,
a
just give me
for real
just
singer.
give me four on your Mount Rushmore of singers back then or now. Just give me four.
Four of my favorites.
Yeah.
Let me do back then and let me do now. Kind of now, I guess. So back then, I gotta say Aretha Franklin because we share the same birthday. Like who ain't gonna say the Queen of Soul?
That's divine.
Um, yeah, we March 25th, both our birthdays. Gladys Knight. Uh, I feel like I'm gonna leave somebody out, but I'm gonna say Anita Baker.
I knew
I don't
you.
know if she's a I don't know if she's a back then though. It's like the time span is so far. And then we're gonna
She's a
say
back then.
Patty. We're gonna say
Gotta put Patty.
Patty.
Gotta put Patty on there.
So that's back
Yeah,
then. And then now, Fantasia, Jasmine
Of course.
Sullivan. Um, trying to be careful.
Lettucey, Chrisette Michelle.
I
Except
love
Michelle they
them.
say lost her
Okay,
mind.
okay. I love them, but I can't put them in my top four if I'm just choosing four. So Fantasia, Jasmine Sullivan, Jill Scott,
Jill.
and shameless plug. I'm gonna say Angie Stone.
Okay. And you
That's a
said
good shameless plug. That's a good
yeah,
shameless
that's
plug.
homegirl.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Angie
Yeah.
Stone is like my mentor. So
Yeah. Big cup of coffee for you tomorrow.
She don't like coffee.
yeah,
That's a
I
good
know.
that's a joke, man.
I but
I-
if you listen to the song, I don't want coffee, nor do I need it.
right.
If it's burning, I hope you don't want it if it's burning.
See, it's always one that's out of
Oh
control.
God, obviously.
It's always one that's out of control. Nah, I mean, what is it that you like bouncing in off of the pandemic?
Hmm.
You said you used the music really to get through because you was feeling a certain kind of way. This podcast is my remedy for what I was going through the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
You feel like you cut off from the world and you need something. Sometimes you need to pick me up. So that's where this podcast between me and my brother was kind of born out of that.
Same
Coming
mom and
out of
daddy.
the pandemic. Coming
oh, y'all
out
got
of
the same mom and dad?
oh yeah.
People be
You know
shocked.
my
Yeah,
birth my entire life.
No,
So
I didn't know y'all were like for real brothers. Now
absolutely.
I say that about me and my sister sometimes. It's it's just so common. It's odd that it's common that people assume people don't have the same parents.
Right.
that's
That's kind of weird. But
yeah.
I didn't know y'all were like blood brothers. A lot of people just say my brother, my sister, especially if you're doing something together. I didn't know y'all were blood brothers. Okay.
For sure, for sure. But
So I missed your question because I cut you off. I was thrown.
no worries, no worries. What is the goal now? Is it to start lining up the live shows again? Is it you're always creating new music? Like as far as the Super Beauty and Handsome Hero, like where do we go now from the pandemic with all these irons in the fire?
So what I can tell you is what's in the works. And what's in the works is a Super Beauty album.
Okay.
Um, so just being a wise individual, even though I absolutely love doing the type of music that I, as Tiffany J, create and write. And I have a desire to record and produce and, you know, a lot of the songs that aren't released. However, my wisdom and my business persona kicks in when I realize I don't make as much money as Tiffany J, the musical artist, as I do with my super beauty endeavors in general. Um,
Somebody got to knock Kids Bop off, man. I'm sick of that shit.
so so my plan, what we're working on is a super beauty album, a lot of, you know, songs for kids, uplifting music with real trendy style, you know, thing, not covers like Kids Bop doing,
Yeah.
you
They
know,
did Luke.
but
Kids Bop did Luke.
it's real crazy listening to them Kids Bop songs because you'll be like, they said what? But that's the plan right now, infusing, you know, both of those talents of mine, but going towards something that is gonna put more in my pocket. However, that's not saying I'm stopping music as Tiffany J. I'm just not going to be investing as much as I am accustomed to into Tiffany J's music. Because to make music, it is an investment, a
Right. It
hefty investment, and you hardly get a return
right. Right.
unless you're only doing live shows back to back and back to back. Like making music costs. Now, if I was just a cover artist and I'm not putting no money out to produce and distribute and do all this stuff, you know, I ain't paying to make nothing. I'm
Right.
just going out and singing and I'm earning money by the hour. I can do that as well, but to create in the way that I want to create professionally, high quality, good music, it costs me. And a lot of times with the way people buy and stream music, there's no return hardly for that. And then we're really in a day and age where people do not buy CDs anymore. Like when my last album came out, we were getting rid of CDs, but people still supported me in a way where they bought hard copy albums.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and that was 2019, the year before the pandemic started. Right now, ain't nobody really buying no hard copy unless they just know you personally or they meet you and they just want something of yours to say, oh, I met her and I got her to sign the hard copy of it. But you know, computers not coming with CD drives no more. You know, you ain't got no way to play it. It's just a
Right.
USB.
keepsake.
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean,
let's
yeah, you
say
can start selling USBs,
so
but
let's
who's
say
doing that? My MacBook
so
don't even have a USB drive.
you're right. So let's check this out. So right now you got, let's say you got $1 million project.
Okay.
Give me everything you do with the $1 million project, like producers.
I can't tell you everything that
Yeah,
I
you can
do with a
tell.
$1 million project, but if I'm doing a $1 million project, I'm definitely building an art center. Um, because I don't necessarily have a goal to be rich and famous, if that make any sense. However, I want to instill all that I know and get people that know more than I know to help develop and cultivate artists coming up, you know, with programs we didn't have. So if y'all didn't know, I'm a graphic designer full time. So my full time business, I guess, is a graphic media design company. So like teaching media arts, and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm just an all around creator. So that would be my $1 million project, is investing into that. And then I might do a little mini tour across the country because I have some funds for that. And you know, I would give away tickets and sell some just to say I went on tour.
Let me ask you this then:
Big.
who is your Mount Rushmore of Colombia?
Of Colombia.
Don't make that face. There's people out there.
It is, but it's so wide ranged. So I'm gonna say Tamika Isaac Divine. Another shameless plug. I really wanted her to win mayor. Um, she's really supported me in a lot that I've done. She's just somebody great to look up to as the first black person on I'm sorry, first black person to serve on the city council at an at-large seat. Um and I was also fortunate enough to create her jingle for her campaign for mayor. So Tamika
Yep.
Eyes of Divine, um this is a hard question.
That's what the show for.
I ain't know all that. Um um it's like I have people in my head, but it's like, do I want to say them? Oh,
It's
Angie
yours.
Stone. I'm gonna go ahead and back and say Angie Stone.
Yeah, show
You
love.
know,
That's two.
my pastor has done a lot of great work too. So Blakely Scott
That's three. Say his
in
name clearly
Columbia.
so people can hear.
Blakely Scott of First Nazareth Baptist Church in Waverly, corner of Gervais and Millwood.
Okay.
Oh, that big church.
Yeah, that's my home church. And shoot, anybody black
Damn.
that had a first something in their title. So all of them is one thing. All the black first in the city,
Right.
all of them is one person.
Collard greens, you had a little Rue.
Mayor Benjamin, Prince Ice.
There you go.
Prince Ice. Prince Ice is my dude.
Okay.
We'll get at him. Prince Ice is my dude. He has supported me in all avenues. You know, it's a lot of times I think about what people have supported all of my business ventures, and he's one of those people. I think the last thing I did for him, he booked me for a single gram to do for his wife for their anniversary. So, Prince Ice is my dude.
Okay. All right. We got a thing called time capsule. Give me 5 of your top female groups, rap or country or R&B. It don't even
Top
matter.
5 female groups:
Female groups.
TLC, SWV, the Clark sisters,
They so dope.
um, Mary. I don't know why I ain't say them first.
Because the Clark sisters did it first. That's why.
Nah, it's a different style for me. Mary is why I'm saved for real. Like I'm a huge Mary
We'll say
and
for
Kurt.
real.
Yeah, I'm a huge Mary and Kurt Franklin fan. Like I'm saved because of those two artists. Not only because, but for real.
Right.
And number 5, I don't want to say. I feel like I'm leaving somebody, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, man, y'all should have gave me these questions in the email.
But check this out now. Every guest, especially music guests that we had,
the Supremes.
Okay.
You want to go real quick?
In Vogue.
Yep. In Vogue on my list.
Escape.
I didn't want to say Escape. I couldn't get him to number 5.
It's not for live performances, but just off of who can.
No, I love Escape too. I just didn't want to give it to him.
Brownstone, Don't Walk
Away.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of them.
Jeanne, It's a Groove.
Yep.
Like you stuck in the 90s. That's what people tell me all the time, that I'm stuck in the 90s. But so I tried.
Let's be real about it.
No, 90s has some great music.
It's the bridge. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Because I came up off of the LaBelles before. Like I know Patty before she was solo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm a big Motown fan, so
Motown is huge.
So it would be a lot easier, honestly, for me to say male groups than female groups.
Yeah,
Male
what you
groups
got?
kill the game.
Did we leave anybody out, Carolina?
As far as I say, uh, I would have said Jade. You said In Vogue. I say Total. Total had
Oh,
a
I
lot
like
down for
Total.
you. Total had
Yeah,
a lot down for a minute. Um, you said In Vogue, SWV. Uh,
those are the big ones.
yeah, those are the ones that
Yeah,
had more than like one
TL,
album.
TLC does it for me though.
Oh,
Like their
Flo-
versatility.
Floetry.
Floetry.
Oh, Floetry would be a good one.
Floetry was tough. Floetry was real tough.
Abs-
Uh, yeah, there wasn't too many female groups that did more than like a one hit.
Right.
It's a tough business, man, and it's not for talent. It's for shitty record deals and shady people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
That's
saying?
what I was, but
is it
and
is it
then
hard
with
for you?
females, it's a lot more bickering inside groups than male groups too. So that's why male groups kind of last longer than female groups do.
Yeah, but they
I
get to
would think.
tussling too. I think
Oh, they
that's
do.
why I think it's easier for men to fight and move on than it is for women. You
Yeah,
know
you
what
remember that group Allure? They had to all cried out with 112.
I'm
That's what
saying?
I remember they did though.
Yeah. The Keep Sweat Girls, Changing Faces.
Changing
Oh
faces.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we could do this. This is what we do. This is the other basis of the show is we have a cocktail and we really be on this music stuff just from a fan standpoint, just from
Hmm.
music gives you that stop and remember where you were, who you was with, the people that you love, the people that you don't like. Music is the soundtrack to your life. You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
Tiffany. Real quick, go through your mails as fast as you can.
My males,
Since you
Boys
said that
to
was
Men, Drew
no.
Hill.
Yeah.
You got to say no to mine. I ain't said no to yours.
Right.
Um, Boys to Men, Drew Hill, Jodeci. Can't say Drew Hill without Jodeci. Jodeci was their blueprint.
Pretty much.
The Temptations, absolutely, and Jackson 5.
That was quick. That was a good list.
That's what's up. Tiffany J.
Yes, sir.
Let the people know where they can support you at. Instagram,
Absolutely.
social media, everything.
So you can follow me on all platforms. My name is Tiffany J. No space. That means there's no space between Tiffany and J. It is one word. Um, I'm on all social media platforms. You can visit my website. I am tiffanyj.com. I just, as of yesterday, released another Soulbird Sessions video. I have a series called Soulbird Sessions. So this was my fifth Soulbird Sessions video, and the one released yesterday was inspired by NPR Music's Tiny Desk
Tiny
concert.
Desk.
So it has a Tiny Desk feel. So if you look me up on YouTube, it's on my YouTube channel, just dropped yesterday. I would love if you would give that a listen and a view and a watch and a comment, all that good stuff. But yeah, Tiffany J, your
I want to
favorite
be at
super
the
dope chick.
I want to be at the next one you do live. So if it's good, I can throw my shoe at you.
I'm for real trying to do a live show this summer. I'm trying to set it up. I literally have not done a live concert as Tiffany J, like a whole concert since before COVID. So
Well, this is the last call. This is where you can take the time to be motivational. You can curse somebody out that you've been wanting to curse out. You can tell a joke. This is just on the walkout. This is the last call. So what you got for them?
okay, so what I'll say as we leave this chill atmosphere, I'll take a moment to be serious. So what I think I excel at is being myself. If you are struggling with self love or identity, you got to get to know yourself and push yourself into the atmosphere. Don't be afraid to go after what you want to go after. Um, Understand when you're good at something, when you're not good at it. You got to be self aware so you'll know what to chase and use your wisdom at what you're trying to do. Because as my mantra states, for yourself and for me. Nobody can do me better than me.
Okay.
That's my last call.
That's a word. Carolina, what you got for the people?
Once again, like I always say, great interview interaction. I hit her up. She was down from the beginning. Stayed true to it. We kept in contact, and she's here. And she gave us a great episode.
For sure.
I've always heard of you, but never heard of you. Like everybody, it was just like the whispers. Have you ever heard Tiffany J? And I'd be like, nah. They'd be like, me neither. It's just something they heard. I mean,
Well,
like that's
no,
how.
I ain't taking no offense. It's just funny.
Oh, but come, running full circle now that I had the opportunity to contact you, because my old lady was like, "You contacted Tiffany J," and I'm just like, "Nah." So then I contacted you, and that's how the ball started going with this. But even in the past, like I've
Because
always
your old
heard of
lady
you.
was a fan. Be acting like people ain't got fans.
So, I heard of you, but that's the thing. I've heard of you, but I didn't hear. Like everybody was just like, you're associated with Angie Stone.
Oh,
But
okay.
there was more to you than that, and that's what
Absolutely.
we wanted to. That's what we wanted to broadcast. Like for the simple people like myself, there's more to you than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Angie Stone is just so happens to come from where I come from.
yeah,
So it's just she grew up with my mama in the same church, so that's
yeah,
why that association is there.
yeah. But I think you are a person of yourself where people shouldn't do those connections. Like they
Absolutely.
shouldn't just say Angie Stone, Tiffany J, or Tiffany J because of or through the like Angie Stone's name shouldn't be put on it. I just think you
I
by
agree.
yourself. You're by yourself, and I just truthfully I really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind, we'd definitely like to have you come back on the show. And if you come back, it'll be an
Absolutely.
open topic, and we talk about whatever's going on.
Okay. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, look, you definitely new to my vision, to my standpoint, but I'm in now. Like I said, it's the work that you're doing and the purpose behind the work that you're doing. It's the fact that you have talent. It shines through in everything you do. It shines through with your hairstyle. The glasses, I've been meaning to tell you, the glasses so dope, man. I appreciate
They got my
your
medicine in them
style.
too.
Oh damn, she said you got the medicine in there.
Yeah, I can't see.
Okay, and I just like I said, I appreciate your
Damn.
flair. One of the other foundations and principles of the show is extraordinary people, man. We all just regular people. We ain't no different than the
Absolutely.
other. But
Absolutely.
that don't that doesn't also mean that we are not beyond extraordinary with the things that we can do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you. I thank you for your time coming on, messing with him because he a jerk sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it real, but
That's crazy.
I
nah,
Yeah,
appreciate
people get
y'all though.
singled out.
I enjoyed the interview. I appreciate the opportunity. It was good chatting.
absolutely. Look, anytime that you want to come on, anything that you want to plug or push in the future, if there's any way that we can help, we gonna make sure that we do that. And for the people that's always tuning in to the bottom of the bottle, y'all go check out Tiffany J at IamTiffanyJ.com, right? That's where they can get
That's
most of your
correct.
information. Hey
Mm-hmm.
man,
Yeah.
look, another dope episode. We love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Until the next time. This is the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. Y'all be easy. We go.